Just realized I cut my mic off as well, so I do apologize for any audio. Let's start this over for the most part. So, um, prior to me showing the recap, basically I was just explaining. I was waiting for a few messages to come in, and once they did, basically I wanted to begin the recap. Don't want to take too much time. Had a long day at work, some traffic as well on the way home. Finally got home, washed up, ate, and here we are. So this first trade I actually took during pre-market. I really don't like opening trades during pre-market and after market hours, just mainly because you can't get in and get out with the push of a button um, as you can during the open market sessions. So this first trade, Foxo, um, they had some news, but their news was basically something about purchasing a um, assisted facility, assisted living facility, and let me see, pull them up real fast. Yeah, they bought an assisted living facility in Florida for about $22 million. It was a quick pop and then dump type scenario in its case. The news catalyst itself wasn't significant enough to move, but with that being said, we were only going to get in and get out anyway. We're not looking to hold anything. So this is the original trade. Opened at about 6:45 ish this morning. Pre-market session. Hold on. Okay. So, I'm gonna pull this mic up a little bit closer. See if you guys can hear me. It's really what I'm trying to identify at this moment. I believe you can. Let me see. Okay. Hey, you're fine. Say you're fine. Oh well, yeah. No. Folks know good damn well I'm streaming. I'm trying to figure out why my audio is giving me issues. Oh, there you go. Okay. So you guys can hear me. All right. So let's get into it. I got that confirmed. I got audio. Mute that on the background. It just takes the live stream some time to catch up. So for some reason, I get delayed responses on the devices to give me input. So let's go. Let's get into it. We're wasting too much time. So I opened this trade with Foxo at about 6:45, like I said this morning. Let's get into it. Let's find them. Hurry up. Let's load. All right. 6:45. 6:45. So you see this little wedge here. Picture that was. Come on now. All right. Fix this. Ah. Okay, so initially, what really drew my eye to this trade was, like I said, it was the assisted living facility that they purchased. And initially, they had a nice little popped from 13 cents up to about 19 cents. Um, as I stated, anytime you jump into a trade, you want to identify the market structure. I'm going to always just give this insight. Market structure is just basically the resistance and support levels historically, just to give you some bounds and where the actual stock itself is ranging. So if we go back on a 4 hour chart, even a day chart, we just want to look at peaks essentially. So we see here there's a 50 EMA, this pink line above that the actual stock itself reached and touched, but that literally is what the peak was for the most part. Above that, we had about 22 cents, then 25 cents, and then 31 cents. It's basically being some areas of potential resistance. But today, the 50 EMA was the culprit that pushed the price back down. So when the $22 million facility information popped up, the stock ran. So we call those runs. They had a run or a rally. They rallied up from 13 cents to 19 cents and then started to sell off. At this point, this is where I caught the move on its way down. I jumped in here because, like I said, it was retesting this 50 EMA on this 15-minute chart. And when it decided to do that, that's really one of those areas that you can look at as being a potential demand zone. A demand zone is basically where price is cheap, and this is where bulls will look to open positions, and shorts will basically look to close their short positions just because they know they're going to be up against some bulls. So we basically open a position. We open like maybe what, a few hundred shares, because this was only 14 cents at the time. So 100 shares, 14 cents is just $14. So we bought like 500 shares. We bought them in tranches of like 500. So it was like $70 each time I would buy a lot of about 500 shares. Let's see. As the move progressed, it started to die off. I'm getting tired of this steady going back to the current time frame. Let's zoom in on a 1 minute chart. So as it sold off, this is where we got in because we started looking at this. I told you guys you want to look for patterns because this is where you see indecisiveness in the trend. This is where trend attempts to figure out the direction that it wants to go, whether it's going to have a trend reversal or it's going to be a continuation of that trend. I just initially opened the trade just to actually put some skin in the game and to monitor it, because my initial move as well was to focus on the averaging down of the price point on this trade, just because send them voicemail. And I wanted to focus on the average price point on this trade just because it was oversold Down here in the RSI, you see these levels below this little pink area. That's basically just showing you that it's oversold. And at some point, the shorts are going to look to close their positions, and the bulls are going to basically start attacking those areas. As this was falling, as this was basically starting to fall, following some type of divergence occurring down here in the RSI areas. So this is one oversold area. Pull this down. So this is one oversold area. Pushed up again, then it fell a little bit more. Then fell again. So you keep seeing that it keeps retesting these oversold areas. And by continuously retesting those oversold areas, that's basically showing that at some point in time you're going to get some push up, because it's only going to stay oversold for so long. So bought a little $70 move here. Watch this little chart pattern form, this little wedge. Then it sold off. Then another little pattern started to form, but this was one of those higher highs, higher low, higher high. This one kind of traced sideways. This right here as well started trading sideways, but then you started getting higher low, then higher high. So this is literally where we were, where we took our profits up there towards that range. As it started to bottom out down here, and we started getting these higher lows, higher highs, we started purchasing more positions. And at that point, we were in the green as it broke back above this 50 EMA. Above that 50 EMA, that's where we actually took our proceeds, because after a while, we need to lose that 50 EMA again. So I'll recap this one more time from the top and then from the next trade. So, as you saw, when it pushed up to that EMA